I sat down with two kids about phones and trends and what it's like being their age right now. And I didn't expect the most important thing they told me about their little sisters. Thanks for checking out this episode where we talk about identity, formation, Gen Z, Gen Xers, all of the things having to do with identity formation and better understanding how people think, live, and see the world. A few months ago, I sat down with my niece and her friend, Isalyn and JL. I actually posted a conversation with them about their generation, about just them growing up as Gen Alpha, actually. And some of what came up already feels a little dated, the slang, the apps, the new influencers that are out now, even though we just recorded this thing a couple of months ago. But there's one thing that stuck with me. What stuck with me wasn't the trends, wasn't what it is that they were doing at the time. It was this thing that both of them said, almost in passing, like it wasn't a big deal. And I don't think either of them realized what the most important part of the whole conversation was. Now, before I get to that, quick context. Isalyn and JL are 12. They're seventh graders. They're pretty sharp. They're like cool, like almost too cool for their family now at this point. And the thing is that they're super fluent in the digital world that moves faster than even I can kind of track. And so I asked them a lot of questions about that, about clout, about AI deep fakes, the generational shame hierarchies. I didn't even know that a lot of this existed until they explained it to me.
Because I think of Gen Alpha as iPad kids, like Leia.
Okay. And you don't want to be associated with that. Now, that's a conversation for another day, but here's the actual thing that I want to talk about. At some point, I asked them about the younger siblings, and without me steering them in a particular direction, both of them independently managed to talk about their little sister's safety online. Not their parents, but them, how they were keeping their siblings safe online. Check out this little clip from our conversation.
I put settings so she can't like chat random people. Because when I first gave it to her, she was just like in role play games and stuff like that. And I have seen some bad stuff on there, so I just turned off chats for her. I don't want her to get snatched up. I don't want my little sister to get like her iPad hacked and like oh, I'm gonna get your location. I'm gonna snatch you up.
Sit with that for a second. A 12-year-old describing in her own words why she turned off chat features on her younger sister's Roblox account. Because she's afraid of what could happen if she didn't do it for her little sister. Now check out this other clip. Wait, who made the account for her?
Me, because I didn't want it on my account.
Did you do, and you did the same? So you're able to see what your siblings are playing?
Yeah.
Because they're not smart enough. They're not smart enough to like hide it. Okay, and then you turned it off? She made the account. She set the permissions. She's the one checking what her sister's doing online. Now, here's why this is bigger than just a cute story about a responsible older sister. We tend to assume the digital safety net in a household runs one direction: adults watching and protecting their kids. And a lot of times that's how it goes. But in this particular conversation, at least for this one specific risk, the safety net was a 12-year-old, not an adult. Not because the parents assigned her the job, because she noticed a risk her parents may not have been tracking as closely, and she acted upon it herself. And that's not criticism of the parents in this story. I want to be clear about that. It's a data point about where the actual gaps are. Kids are sometimes closer to the real-time risk landscape of their own platforms than adults are in the house, simply because they're the ones living inside of it every day. Parents aren't on these platforms. The kids are. And so to have an older sibling take a look at the safety concerns and the risk factors there, and then make those changes themselves, that's a pretty interesting idea. I told her on camera, and I meant it, this deserves real credit. But credit isn't the whole response. It's a flag. And here's the question this raises that goes beyond phones or apps or Roblox settings specifically. If a 12-year-old already carrying the weight of protecting their younger sibling from online predators, thinking about location tracking, thinking about strangers in the chat, thinking about what getting snatched up actually means, what is that doing to her formation, even while she's doing something genuinely good? Responsibility taken on early isn't automatically harmful. Kids have always had chores. They've always had younger siblings to help watch, but There's a difference between watch your sister while I make dinner and monitor your sister's exposure to predators because the platform wasn't built with her safety as the default. One is ordinary childhood responsibility. The other is a kid doing a job that belongs to adults, the platform, or both. I'm not saying don't let siblings help each other. That instinct in both of these girls is worth protecting, not shutting down. And I'm not saying every parent needs to redo their kids' Roblox settings tonight, although you should take a look at it. It wouldn't hurt if you check. What I'm saying is this. Notice where the safety work in your house is actually happening. If your older kid has quietly become the one managing a younger sibling's exposure to strangers online, that's worth a real conversation. Not to take the responsibility away from them, but to make sure they're not carrying it alone and not carrying more of it than a 12-year-old should have to. Isalyn and JL didn't tell me this like it's a big deal. It came up like it was just something that they do. That's exactly why it mattered enough to build a whole episode around it. I'm going to sit down with both of them again soon for another conversation. There's a lot more here I want to get into, but this one thing, kids quietly protecting kids, felt like it needed its own space before I moved on to something else. If this gave you something to think about, please subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear whether your kids are doing something similar for each other you didn't know about until you really asked them. And again, thanks for watching this episode. Please let me know that you did. And as always, don't forget, be unique but belong.